Well, hello there, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, fellow firearms enthusiasts. Welcome to Crooked Horse Rifle and Pistol out of Lamar County, Mississippi. It's a little overcast, a little gloomy. Hopefully we might be able to get video in before it starts raining. We're finally getting some rain down here. Anywho, I thought I'd do a video today not focusing on just one particular firearm, but a few firearms. Today's Veterans Day, a day that we pay our respect to those who have served and continue to serve. And today's firearms that I have are firearms that our veterans have used in conflicts throughout the globe. I'm going to start with the M1 Garand. To quote the great General George S. Patton, in my opinion, the M1 rifle is the greatest battle implement ever devised. So a little bit about this rifle. This was invented by John Garand. Now there's a little controversy in the pronunciation. Is it Garand or Garand? I'm not going to argue over it. However, his invention led to U.S. troops being the only troops during World War II who had a semi-automatic rifle as a standard issue firearm. This rifle is chambered in .30-06 and served U.S. troops in World War II, the Korean War, and according to some sources, it was used in the Vietnam War as well. Now, Springfield Armory would be the primary producer, along with Winchester joining in. And during World War II, over 4 million of these rifles would be produced between both manufacturers. After the war, production would stop, and these rifles would be either put in storage or loaned out to other countries. However, during the Korean War, production was resumed, and companies like International Harvester Corporation and Harrington Richardson Arms would join Springfield Armory in manufacturing the Garand. Now the Garand is chambered, like I said, and chambered in .30-06, and it's fed using these M-block clips. This is a clip, not a magazine. Now it has an effective range of 500 yards. So let's shoot this. So to load this thing, you insert your clip into the magazine. Now when you do this, you have to be very careful. You slide your hand down like that. You got this little lever here. You want your hand against that. And bring it in. Then just give it a bump forward, just like so. You ever heard it? I'm sure a lot of you heard the term a Garand thumb. That's kind of what happens. Now if you aren't paying attention, that slide gets that, or that bolt gets that thumb. So let's see if we can't hit anything. And you were clear. Did you hear that little ping? There's a customary ping of the M1 Garand. Oh, that's just too much fun just to be doing one clip. So I'm going to insert another one and do that again. Hey, this time we're going to go to our little makeshift shooting rest there. Remember, we're low tech, low budget. Ladies and gentlemen, okay. I know. Hey, heck, let's do one more. All right, one more clip. Truly nice rifle to shoot. Let's go back to the bench. So the M1 Garand has a max effective range of about 500 yards. I'm pretty sure that there were shooters out there that were able to push this thing out much further. And this particular rifle was manufactured by Springfield Armory in July of 1943. The next firearm that we have is a rifle that some consider a rifle, a firearm ahead of its time due to its low cost, being lightweight, and its popularity for its versatility as well as accuracy. And what we have here is the M1 Carbine. Now the M1 Carbine served the U.S. troops through World War World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and is actually currently in use by many countries around the globe. It's fed by a 15-round magazine and chambered in 30 carbines. There you go, that's your 30 carbine bullet. Now, the M1 Carbine was originally developed for rear echelon troops in the traditional non-combatant roles, and was produced by several manufacturers to include Inland, which was a division of General Motors. Now they made the most of them. Winchester, Underwood, and Rockola, the company that known for making jukeboxes. Also Quality Hardware and Machine, just to name a few. Let's put some, let's fill this magazine here. So we got our 15 round magazine. Now I will say later on, they will introduce the the 30 round magazine, the banana style. Just give that a nice bump. Chamber around. Let's see if we can hit anything. There we go. Now one thing about these older firearms, you gotta kind of anticipate, sometimes where things ain't gonna just run as smooth as you would expect. But I feel the need to refill this magazine. Want to put this rifle on safe. Now, also a little history with the M1 Carbine. This is an early World War II model. Now, how do I know this? Because in the early versions, you got your safety, this little button right here, and also your magazine release button right there. And the later versions, later during the war, they changed this because apparently soldiers were mistaking the release, the safety for the magazine release, or vice versa. So the second iterations of the carbines have a lever, vice a button. See? So let's refill this magazine. Clear. Weapon on safe and drop that magazine. So this carbine is manufactured about November, December 1943, and it's definitely lightweight and very comfortable to shoot, and I could definitely see how, why service members would actually prefer this, to carry this, over the Garand. Yeah, also another little piece of history about these rifles. It was common, it said that it was common among soldiers and Marines to file off the dog ears on the sights. So the sight, so that sight post dog ear may not necessarily be, be broken, but it was, filed off intentionally. So let's take this back to the bench and see what else we have. So the last firearm in today's video is an icon in military firearms. Invented by John Moses Browning in 1911. You guessed it. The 1911 would become the standard U.S. issue from 1911 to 1985. The U.S. Army formally adopted the 1911. Guess what? In 1911. And the Navy and Marine Corps adopted it in 1913. The 1911 was originally produced by Colt, as well as the U.S. government Springfield Armory. However, the pistol will be subcontracted to other manufacturers to meet wartime demands, particularly during World Wars I and II. Now in 1924, there will be some modifications made to the original 1911. Then we come out with this model, the 1911 A1. The 1911 is chambered in 45 ACP and uses a 7 or an 8 round magazine and has an effective range of about 50 meters. Also, the 1911, what makes it unique, or a favorite I should say, among shooters, is that it allegedly has one of the best triggers of all firearms, and the popularity of this pistol secures its continued use among military and government agencies around the globe. I lost count how many I was putting in there as I was counting. We're going to put the hearing protection on and see if we can't hit anything. And like the others, you can't just shoot one magazine. So we're going to do this again. Shoot some more. Well, this time let's go to the paper target. Never let a round go to waste. And like I said before, now with these older firearms, you're gonna have your little hiccups. It kind of comes with the territory. Now this particular 1911, this was made by Ithaca Arms, and it was made in 1943. Now there's also various sources that claim that the 1911 is the world's most cloned pistol. I don't know whether that's true or not. However, regardless of whether this is a fact or not, the 1911, I will say, is the most iconic handgun of all time. So ladies and gentlemen, I think the rain is starting to come. So, and I don't want these things getting all wet. I tell you though, it is a privilege to be able to collect and be able to have and fire these firearms. Given the date that these things were manufactured, let's just say I would be highly surprised if between these three that none of these three saw any type of combat. During World War II, or heck, maybe even Korean War as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining me out here at Crooked Horse Rifle and Pistol. And if you like the video, just ask that you hit that like button. And if you want to continue to see more of these videos, just hit that subscribe button. And for my fellow brothers and sisters that have worn the uniform and continue to wear the uniform, happy Veterans Day. And thank you for coming out and shooting with us.